to watch people talking, but it's not like there's like a lot of action or anything that they're really doing for the most part.
We're recording now. Do I watch podcasts? Tom has asked if I watch podcasts. I don't even listen to podcasts.
So you're the one guy then, huh?
Yeah. I've tried, but I'm always like, I could be listening to music or the news or whatever. I don't know.
Sure. Well, I mean, a lot of people get their news from podcasts these days.
Oh, that's true. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I listen to the Always Sunny in Philadelphia podcast.
Oh, okay. Very nice.
It's very episodic, and so it's like
Yes.
watching a TV show kind of. So I like that. My wife, I think, has listened to some murder podcasts, and then she tells me about them. So I'm
that's the best way to get it, really.
Yeah, that's true. I think. Okay, you ready?
Certainly.
We're live. We're recording. Welcome to Little Talk, November 9th. I believe that's today.
That sounds right.
We're on a Wednesday finally. Sam is not with us today. Sam and the whole Littlefield household, as I understand it, has a bad round of food poisoning going on. So, yeah.
Let's go out to them.
And I was eating with him all day yesterday. So far, I'm okay.
Iron stomach. It's all those cups of coffee, I think.
Which also means, by the way, we had talked about, Sam made a deal at the beginning of the year when the podcast started about a steak dinner.
Of course, Bull in the Alley.
Bull in the Alley was supposed to happen last night, and he faked this food poisoning thing to get out of it. Is what happened, but that's okay. Well, we're rescheduling that. We'll do that again. You'll hear about it on the podcast if you care. If you care to hear about me and Sam eating meat, that's what we'll be doing.
Oh yeah, top of every podcast, hopefully.
Yeah. So sitting in today instead, we have Tom. And Tom, I can't pronounce your last name.
Phenicie.
Phenicie.
Like Phenicie. Yes.
Oh, or Hennessy.
Exactly. Yeah. Depending on the clock, off the clock.
Tom, if you followed us on TikTok or social, has been the star of a couple of TikToks.
Oh goodness.
And it's because of his uncanny resemblance to Tulsa's own Bill Hader, I believe.
Sure, I don't see it, but everyone keeps telling me.
We're leaning into it for this podcast too. That's why we start. That's our grand plan for video recording, so we could fool people into thinking I had Bill Hader today, which would be great. You're great too, though, Tom. Don't worry about it.
Oh well, thank you. Yeah,
fantastic.
Happy to fill in.
And Tom, what do you do at Littlefield? Tell the viewers and the listeners what Tom does.
Certainly. So I am the media and analytics coordinator. So kind of a bit of a go-between between our analytics director Kaiser and the media department and the PMs. So a lot of facilitating ad placements, doing that, trafficking the ads, everything. Kind of a lot of time spent on the phone or an email. So.
Yeah, when we look at having other people on the podcast, often we first think creative, but
certainly,
we thought we'd try to do something, get the media folks in, and again, trade on your uncanny appearance that looks like Bill Hader. I'll leave you alone on that. Sorry.
No, I love Hader. He's a handsome, successful man.
You told us at the staff meeting when people approach you about it, you go ahead and just sign the autograph and pose for the photo, right?
And funny enough, our new hire, Brenda Lewis, actually came up to me yesterday before the staff meeting, gave me that, do you know who you look like? I was like, no, but I'd love to hear it.
Boy, I used to get that about Tom Cruise a lot.
Really?
No.
Oh.
Okay, let's do the intros here. So I'm going to read the intros we had planned for if Sam had been on the mics today. We were going to talk about our visit with TBK Bank in Dallas, and a huge group of the agency went down on Monday to visit with them. Great folks. I had a Zoom call with them last week. I think I've got a meeting coming up in December with them as well. But anyhow, everyone said that was a great visit. They always love going down to hang out and see them. And apparently their building is really cool. I hear.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I hear a lot about it. Google Maps will show you that building if you want to see it.
Oh, boy.
I believe. So anyhow, yeah, we're heading back to TBK in a few weeks, I believe. And next week we'll be visiting Chelsea, Brock, and I think that's the team, is going to visit our friends in Mound Ridge, Kansas, Grasshopper Mowers. Always good to see them as well.
Absolutely.
You mentioned a new hire. We've teased it on the podcast, and that's another name that I did a whole thing on, and Tasha was like, why can't you say Brenda Lewis? I'm like, I can. That's the thing. It's a simple name. And anyhow, that started a whole name thing and how I'm not smart enough to pronounce things. So full circle with asking you how to say your last name. Hennessy, which is probably what I'll call you, Tom Hennessy.
Absolutely.
Because I'm not bright. So anyhow, Brenda is here. Brenda Lewis started on Monday, and we'll probably have her in at some point and let her explain. But she's a project manager.
Yes,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Over that team. And this was a weird one, but you know what? I'm not going to do this one. I'm going to save it for Sam. I feel like we should.
That's appropriate.
There was a very personal family matter that Sam wanted to address.
Not the food poisoning.
No, not the food poisoning. So we're just going to hold on that one. There's a last one.
Sure.
It involves Matt. I'll just say that. Everybody loves Matt. I love Matt.
Absolutely.
Matt's my boy. Okay. So this is the part where we go into digital trends.
Sure.
And again,
Let's dive right in.
dive right in for the new folks, for the Bill Hader fans that are joining us for the first time. Digital trends are a group of kind of things going on in the digital marketing world that we put together over the course of a month and release in the form of an email that goes out on the first of each month. So you can subscribe. You can get before you don't have to listen to podcasts. If you're like me, you don't listen to podcasts. I do listen to this one sometimes. I like to go say, "Oh man, the audio was bad right there."
I was about to say, long-time listener.
Yeah. Someone's got to. You think the steak dinner happened by accident? It was me gumming the numbers. Anyhow, so if you want to hear the things we're going to talk about on the podcast, or read about those things rather before you hear them, subscribe on the website to the Little Bits Digital Trends email that goes out first of every month. And then, of course, this podcast is pretty much every Wednesday. We change it a little bit. So, anyhow, pulling off of this last month's digital trends, Tom, do you want to take number one?
Yeah, certainly. So, TikTok replaces Netflix as second most popular app for those under 35. So, it looks like TikTok has jumped over Netflix to become the second most popular app in the United States among people under 35. According to new research.
Tom, I've gone over this with the staff and just told anecdotally people that this has happened.
Sure.
Because I think it's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, crazy in a good way. It's kind of neat.
Sure.
Eat it, Netflix, right? I think it's kind of cool. But the thing I never know is that they always ask me, and I don't think it's in the article unless I just didn't read. I don't read either.
It was not, yeah.
What's the most popular app for those under 35?
So YouTube. YouTube is the most popular app, and boy, I don't think there's any dethroning YouTube in the near future.
Probably not. That makes sense. Okay, but TikTok as a search engine, Google is getting a little nervous. We talk about that a lot. So that's kind of fun. So TikTok as a single app is coming after two Google or Alphabet, which was called Alphabet.
Sure.
Two Alphabet products in YouTube and search.
Absolutely.
That's kind of nuts. So, Anyhow, I think Netflix has had a bit of a rough year. Their ad-served platform is rolled out. We'll see how that gets adapted and how people are willing to sit through ads or not. I actually pay to skip ads in these cases.
Certainly. I do too, and I thought that the people would maybe be a little bit more resistant to this, but everyone I've talked to seems to be on board. For the commercial-driven.
Yeah, and I think as prices are rising, they probably will find an audience for it. They might even hit my breaking point at some. Every month I look at my streaming services. Tom, are you like me and you have every streaming service under the sun?
I do, yeah. And I'm sure maybe like you, I share a password here or there with different people.
We'll edit that out, but yeah.
Yeah, we can't let them know that. But yeah, it's rare that somebody mentions oh, have you watched this on Peacock? Like, I don't have Peacock.
I have Peacock now.
Oh yeah, gotta have.
Friend of the family, we're watching Peacock and AP Bio when that was out. We were watching that final season.
Yeah. But Grouper as well, I believe.
Grouper, I'll check that out.
Oh yeah, they brought it back.
We got it for AP Bio like 2 years ago, and I did not. We literally watched that one show, and I didn't cancel it because I don't remember.
Absolutely.
But anyhow, as I get pushed on these, and I every month kind of think, oh, maybe this is the month I get rid of it or get rid of something. Maybe I don't get rid of it. Maybe I drop down to this ad version. So maybe that's part of their plan is to price an audience into the ad model.
Certainly.
We'll see how that goes. That's interesting. Okay. Are we running any ads or planning to on Netflix?
Actually, I think that we are planning that. That's on a couple of our plans coming up. So, we're going to be in there.
We'll see. We like to experiment and see how things go.
Absolutely.
At Littlefield Agency. So, okay, cool. I'll like to hear about that. And Grouper? Is Grouper I need to?
MacGrouper.
Oh, MacGrouper.
Yes.
MacGrouper. I do know what that is. That's on Peacock?
Yeah, they brought it back.
Yikes.
Yeah.
I feel like anything goes to Peacock is kind of like.
Yeah.
That bidding war had to be pretty low if you're on Peacock.
I think so. It was about one bid, probably.
Yeah.
But
that's fine. But yeah, we were watching Saturday Night Live on Hulu Live, which we watch every week. And for some reason, NBC is on Hulu. Even though I don't pay for ads, I don't want ads on Hulu. I still get ads on anything for NBC, right?
Sure.
Kind of frustrating. I feel like I should get a discount. But my wife Carrie said, hey, I think we have Peacock. Perhaps there we can stream it live with no ads. I go, okay. So we get out of Hulu, we go over to Peacock, pull it up, and no, NBC going to run their ads.
Huh.
Yeah,
That's
even on live.
Even
on live. Because I thought it wasn't live. It was like recorded the next day, Saturday Night Live. We were watching it Sunday afternoon live for us.
Sure.
So we were watching record. I thought surely it would be ad free. It was not. But that's look, it's more inventory. We talk about this a lot. But how do they perform? We'll find out. Will that audience be different? Okay, we'll go on to digital trend number 2. Another TikTok one. This one's kind of bizarro world stuff. TikTok has added a new photo mode feature that very much resembles the Instagram platform. Users can now post images into carousel. You can always post images on TikTok. Tom, do you TikTok?
So I like to.
We're getting to know Tom today.
I try to stay off of TikTok, but I access TikTok through the browser. I haven't downloaded it on my phone. I don't know what kind of high ground I think I'm occupying.
There
here.
is an analytics guy somewhere who's like, who is this one guy that's on the browser version?
And it's more than I would like as well. It's not like I'm just on there once or twice to check a thing. It's like I get these links all the time from people.
It's well, I mean, good for them because Instagram originally was a phone app only. You can only get it through the app. There was no browser version, but they've kind of relented. Now they have creator tools and all kinds of stuff in the browser. TikTok starting off with, you can look at us in the browser. It's totally fine. We don't care.
Oh, absolutely.
Good move. Anyhow, you could always post photos on TikTok, and they're usually in these kind of like animated, set to kind of upbeat music collage. They're fun. They're fun, and people have a good time with them. But this is different. They're saying now you can upload images as a carousel that you manually swipe. They're not automated, although there's an option to turn it into video mode, which does automate it. But this is just straight up carousels. And let's see, what else do we got here? Yeah, they've also announced that video captions will now be 2,200 characters instead of the previous 300. We've talked about this some on the podcast. This is them prepping for the their place in the search universe. They want more text and context for what you're viewing and looking up. But what's crazy to me, we were talking about this before we started the podcast. Everyone knows we do prep before this, so you can reference the prep we did. Anyhow, the crazy thing to me is that when TikTok started as a hardcore vertical video format, it really drove Instagram to push Reels, and I think YouTube to push Shorts, and and Facebook, whatever they're doing or calling it. I think it's Reels there too, isn't it?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. Little weird.
Overlap there.
But that's okay. So anyhow, it's that format that got pushed, and really is still being pushed and driven by TikTok's popularity. This is crazy to me that they circled all the way back around and said, well, we're going to take photos from you too. Because that's really what Instagram started on, was like photos and carousel photos and things like this. And I originally, we put this trend together a few weeks ago, and I thought there's no one's going to use this. But as I've kind of checked in with TikTok users and analytics and things I'm seeing, it actually is getting used.
Yeah, and it seems like it's a great opportunity for advertising as well.
Yes.
Makes it a little bit more friendly as far as that goes.
Pretty much anytime you see a trend, or the first thing we're thinking is, where can the ad go, or how can we? It's always an ad, but like, how can we push a brand's message or awareness or whatever through this tactic or channel? And that was the first thing I thought was, photo, ad, photo, ad.
Exactly.
And that's probably what they're thinking too.
Yeah, which I think would be a great opportunity for that. And I wonder, with the titles becoming so much larger, does that interfere with the algorithm at all?
I bet they're prepared for it.
I bet they are.
I feel like they might.
Algorithm over there.
I mean, that's probably what drove it. Someone said, hey, we could do X amount better search results if we just had more contextual data. Like, we can make them more accurate if we have more stuff. I say that, but you know what? People really kind of jam the system with hashtags and BS words, and you can hide keywords off of the frame now. And I think we're in the wild west of TikTok. Some of that will at some point zero in and get a little bit more regulated, to say, lack of a better word, I guess.
Certainly.
But yeah, the idea is good. They're basically, I mean, I can't believe that we're talking about 2 years ago. I would have never thought. I mean, TikTok is just another one that'll slide through and be done, but like, it's so disruptive and really driving and kind of smart in how they're rolling out and adapting features, where a Facebook or Google tends to just throw everything against the wall and see what sticks. I haven't seen that yet from TikTok. It's been very methodical.
It does seem that way, and it's just every couple of months, really weeks, there's just some new feature. There's something that's growing, like this kind of Akira monster. I mean, it's
Akira monster. I like that. Yeah. Okay, well, that's our two trends for the WIT month. That's it. Was it easy?
Oh, easy peasy.
I told Tom it would be easy, and he didn't even hesitate when I asked, would you like to co-host today, because Sam's out? He's like, yeah, sure, let's do it.
A natural podcast, natural. I mean, I try to bring that Sam energy, but my goodness, he's so high.
Yeah, it's hard to match Sam's energy. Can I say something?
Certainly.
You have a voice for podcast and radio.
Really?
I think so.
Okay, I was thinking this might be the one podcast I don't listen to as far as this goes, because I don't know if I love the sound of my own voice. But that's,
no,
that's
I think you sound like you belong on radio.
Well, thank you.
So when we do
I have a face for radio.
that's what I've been told about me. Not even a voice for radio though either. We have to get you to do voiceovers over in Creative. They do temp placement.
boy.
We'll do audio tracks that they're dropping in until we pay a professional to come and do their audio. But
Sure. Oh, I'd love that.
it's been Zach up to this point, and he hates the sound.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I'd love that. I could definitely be a
It's
placeholder.
always been an interesting role in the agency, the person doing the scratch tracks. But anyhow.
Well, and is that recorded in here? Because this is actually my first time in this room.
Oh, really? This used to be my office.
Was it really?
Yeah, and people can't see the way we do the cameras, but I used to sit right over there. None of this was here, and these were all offices on their side. But that was my office, and there was none of this business here. I don't know where they record those. We've offered. When they leave that side of the room or the floor to come over here, and I'm always like, you can use the studio, but I don't know if they do or not.
I think most people think it's a little bit daunting because of the on-air sign, which never turns off. So.
When we first installed that, we turned it off every day.
Oh, really?
Because there's a potential fire hazard. I don't know if you can see the cable going into the ceiling.
It's like that's a cord solution.
Yeah,
right there.
we'll edit this out too.
Yeah.
All right, well that's it. That's all we have this week. Presumably Sammy will be back next week.
Fingers crossed.
Tom, thanks for jumping in a
Absolutely.
pinch.
Thanks for having me.
Dynamite job. I knew you would. And
Carried by my co-host.
yeah, well, that's what I was about to say. But thank you very much. And that's it. Now on the sign off, because we didn't go over this. We've been working on it. I don't really have a real set one, but I usually look at the camera and go, see you next week. So whatever you want to do or feel comfortable with.
I was just going to steal that. Blow a kiss, maybe?
Sure, why not? Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Later.